I've been thinking about where does superstition come from and what purpose does it serve? And for the most part, I've looked at superstition with disdain. But I've recently been wondering, well, what are the positives of superstition? And I realized, okay, to some degree, superstition is tied to faith, and faith is tied to sort of trusting in something bigger than yourself, outside of yourself. So, one positive aspect of superstition could be that it allows us to externalize some of our fears and anxieties and feelings and basically trust in something outside of ourselves, right? So if you're superstitious that good things will happen, you are likely to subconsciously and consciously behave in a way that is more likely to arrange for them to happen. You might be more positive, you might look for opportunities, you might take positive risks, and so on. Another aspect of superstition could be predictions or prophecies, right? And if you are predicting or prophesizing something good, you're more likely to make it occur by that date, right? So it's interesting to consider that a lot of superstition may have evolved as a way for us to cope with the uncertainty in the world and to try to psychologically exert some control over it. And it might be positive in the sense that by believing in a higher likelihood of certain things happening, we're more likely to behave in a way that creates those outcomes. And that's easier to do with superstition than it is to do with pure logic. Now, I still don't think superstition is a net positive, but it is still interesting to consider where there might be room for it to fit into the lives of people who are already, naturally drawn to superstition. Superstition probably also provides, ancillary benefits and other things. Like if you believe in psychics, you talk to a psychic regularly, they can almost behave sort of like an informal therapist, someone to listen to you, someone to reassure you, someone to offer company, right, and understanding, empathy, and so on. So it's interesting, what it makes me think what else makes superstition so alluring, like astrology, right? Like horoscopes. Why is that so popular? Especially among women, right? What is it that makes us want to categorize and box up things in the world so that we understand them or think we understand them, and so that we can simplify and compare with each other, right? Like, oh, you're an Aries, I'm an Aries, and so on. It's interesting. I think, in a way, we have to simplify because so many things are just too complex. The number of factors is just too high that we cannot cope with the pure nature of reality. So we have to create models that help us make sense of things, and horoscopes are one model that help us make sense of things. But I think there's just always true models that are simplistic, that work, rather than needing to create elaborate stories around the position of planets and how that affects someone's personality based on when they were born, which just makes no physical sense. But yeah, that's what I was thinking about today, is just superstition, what can we learn from it? What aspects of it might have a positive impact on life? I still think over time, if you become less superstitious, it's generally going to help you.